Yes, he's here.
बरार साहब कहाँ है, मैं देखता हूँ। ये कुलदीप जी है, ये बरार है, कुलदीप जी पे लिखा हुआ है।
हाँ,
रेड पगड़ी में जो है। अच्छा अच्छा, वो ही है। अच्छा, मैं उनका राजदीप नाम था ना, कुलदीप लिखा है तो
राजदीप तो बेटा है ना।
अच्छा 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 अच्छा।
अच्छा, आप राजदीप के डैड हैं? अरे वाह, क्या बात है।
अच्छा, मैं अभी करता हूँ, म्यूट करता हूँ उनको। हाँ।
ये बच्ची वो फिर पिक्चर गायब हो रही है। नहीं, वो
नाउ यू आर अनम्यूट सर।
थैंक यू। हाँ, आप अनम्यूट हैं। अच्छा, नमस्कार जी। नमस्कार। बरार सर, आप कहाँ, आप टोरंटो में कहाँ हैं? मैं वैंकूवर सरी में हूँ, कनाडा। वैंकूवर में है। अच्छा 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 अच्छा।
इतनी
कर्नल विपिन कुमार भी आ गए। अरे वाह, क्या बात है।
चलिए, वेरी गुड।
ले ले पानी।
कर्नल विपिन कुमार जी नमस्कार।
क्या किया? मैंने कुछ नहीं किया।
कर्नल विपिन कुमार जी, कैन यू हियर मी?
कहाँ से जाऊंगा? खाली मेरी आ रही है।
I hope I am on mute.
कौन?
मर्जी वेला इत्थे वेला जो वेखना तो।
You're not muted. You're not muted. Hold on.
Yeah, there are 6 more minutes, so many people will join in this time.
Oh yes.
Yeah, a lot of people will join.
हाँ, ये आ गए।
हाँ जी। अच्छा, मैं करता हूँ, मैं देखता हूँ। हाँ, 1 मिनट रुकिए, मैं कर देता हूँ। हाँ, मैं अभी कर रहा हूँ आपको।
हाँ सर,
हो गया ना? हाँ, ठीक है।
I think it's good.
Yeah, that's good now. देवेंद्र जी, आप भी अभी आपको अनम्यूट करना है, बता दीजिएगा मुझे।
हाँ, मैं अनम्यूटेड हूँ अभी। It's good.
अच्छा, मैं कर देता हूँ अभी आपको। हाँ
ठीक।
बाद में तो आप सबको ही अनम्यूट कर देंगे ना?
हाँ, बाद में कर देंगे सभी। हाँ, जब सबको कर देंगे। अभी सब नमस्ते तो कर लेना सबसे।
Yeah, that's true.
जय हिंद कहिए, जय हिंद। हाँ, जय हिंद, नमस्ते, जय हिंद। बिल्कुल।
Yeah. Jai Hind. Jai Hind is the right word.
Jai Hind, sir. There are many senior officers in front of me today.
हाँ,
It's my honor and
संजय
pleasure.
शर्मा जी एक हैं, वो कौन है? संजय शर्मा जी, वो वहां से हैं शायद, टोरंटो से। कोई जानता है? संजय शर्मा जी हैं यहाँ।
अरे ये वो तो नहीं है कर्नल कुड। वो नाम से हो सकता है, किसी के नाम से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं।
हो सकता है मैं इनको देखता हूँ।
ये वो लगता है शर्मा राकेश, ये रूपाली के डैड तो नहीं है? कर्नल वो म्यूटेड है।
अभी मैंने अनम्यूट कर रहा हूँ मैं उनको।
हाँ, उनको अनम्यूट करिए।
हाँ, वही कर रहा हूँ मैं भी।
ये शायद कर्नल कालरा है।
तो उसे वीपी शर्मा है जी।
वीपी शर्मा, वेद प्रकाश।
ओ, वेद प्रकाश शर्मा। अच्छा, ठीक है।
ओ, वीपी शर्मा।
हाँ।
टोरंटो से मैं वेद प्रकाश शर्मा हूँ और संजय शर्मा का।
अच्छा।
हाँ, शर्मा जी नमस्कार। शर्मा जी
मोबाइल इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ।
शर्मा जी जय हिंद। मैं श्री गौर बोल रहा हूँ। शर्मा जी जय हिंद।
जय हिंद शर्मा जी।
हाँ, जय हिंद, जय शर्मा जी।
शर्मा जी की वीडियो नहीं आ रही।
वीडियो आ रही है अभी, अब आ रही है। शर्मा जी,
संजय शर्मा इज नॉट हियर एट प्रेजेंट।
शर्मा जी जय हिंद।
हाँ, ये देखा थोड़ा सा हमने शर्मा जी।
जय हिंद।
आप कैसे हैं शर्मा? आई एम सो ग्लैड दैट यू जॉइन। दैट्स गुड, दैट्स वेरी गुड।
आप टोरंटो से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं?
ये कारगिल जे
बिल्कुल
कौन है?
फिट हुई।
ये कारगिल जे कौन
हाँ
है?
जी,
कारगिल जे
कहाँ से ज्वाइन किया सर आपने?
कारगिल जे कौन है?
हाँ, इनको अनम्यूट करिए ना, बताएंगे। कर्नल विपिन कुमार, वेलकम।
कर्नल विपिन जी, ये तो बहुत अच्छा हुआ आप आ
अनम्यूट
गए।
करिए।
मैं करता हूँ अभी। हाँ, कारगिल जी, आपका असली नाम क्या है? नमस्कार, जय हिंद। हाँ, आपका नाम बताइए।
मेरा नाम जय कुमार शर्मा। आई एम अ राइटर बाय नेम कारगिल जय।
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, आप कहाँ से हैं?
आई एम इन कैलिफोर्निया जी।
आप अपना वॉल्यूम बढ़ा सकते हैं, वॉल्यूम।
सैन फ्रांसिस्को।
Okay, very good. I'm glad you could join.
थैंक यू राजीव वर्मा जी।
राजीव वर्मा, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। कर्नल विपिन कुमार जी को मैं अनम्यूट करता हूँ।
शर्मा जी को म्यूट किया हुआ, इनको शर्मा, राकेश शर्मा म्यूट हो गए। राकेश जी को कर दीजिए, गौड़ जी।
मैं अभी करता हूँ
हाँ, राकेश जी को कर दीजिए।
विपिन जी को देखता हूँ, मैं जरा अभी करता हूँ। और राजीव जी ने सबको म्यूट कर दिया था, तो अभी
मेरे ख्याल से अभी आप सबको वो कर दीजिए अनम्यूट।
हाँ, मैं
अभी शुरू में
राजीव जी को बोलता हूँ, वो कर देंगे।
हाँ, वो सबको अनम्यूट कर दें, क्योंकि अभी तो सब लोग आपस में बात कर रहे हैं, इंट्रोडक्शन कर रहे हैं।
हाँ, कर दिया। Everybody can unmute themselves.
कर्नल विपिन जी,
everybody can do themselves.
नमस्कार।
कैसे हैं आप? I'm so glad you could join. I'm so glad। मैं कल से आपको कोशिश कर रहा हूँ आपसे कांटेक्ट करने की। मैंने आपको फेसबुक पे मैसेज भेजा, तो I'm glad that you are here now.
Yes, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Lala, can you hear me?
Oh, अच्छा, आगे चले जी। नमस्कार। हाँ, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Yeah, can we
that's very good.
everybody?
Well, good morning to everybody, and to you, good evening to everybody.
ये मेरे ग्रुप कैप्टन आगे जो दिल्ली से अभी उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया है। Kader, I'm glad you could I can see you very well now.
Yeah, why not? I mean, such a good opportunity. How could I lose?
That's very nice. So glad you are here. और मुझे ज़्यादा नहीं, मेरे लाला के नाम से कोई जानता नहीं है।
But नारे वो तो मैं because I was drawing your attention, यार.
I think Brigadier Sharma also joined.
अच्छा, ब्रिगेडियर शर्मा आ गया। अच्छा,
अच्छा, गौर साहब
जी,
गौर साहब मेरी सुनो।
हाँ जी, बोलिए।
ये एयर कमांडर त्यागी is also on the web now.
Jayant, I got it. Thanks.
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है।
एयर कमांडर त्यागी भाई साहब, वेलकम।
Hello Sharma sir. Hello,
Thank you very much. Very good morning. How are you, Sunil?
Hi,
Very
I'm good,
good.
sir. How are you?
Hi.
Good to see you here,
I'm very
sir.
well.
33 people.
Very nice.
33 people.
So you find some of your friends?
Well, now probably I will.
General Bhatta is not seen
General
around.
Bhattacharya is here.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah, वो
Hi,
अपने
sir.
सनीता के नाम से आए हुए हैं।
Hello, hi, Arjun.
Very good, sir. Nice to have you.
नमस्कार आचार्य जी,
तो गौर जी शुरू कर सकते हैं?
हाँ, बस अब शुरू करेंगे बस। हाँ,
गौर जी शुरू कर लें, चीफ गेस्ट भी आ गए।
हाँ, सत्यन जी नमस्कार। सत्यन जी नमस्कार।
उस पर चालू हुआ है, फेसबुक पे चालू नहीं हुआ है गौर सर अभी।
वो राजीव जी कर रहे हैं उसको।
अच्छा, ठीक है।
हाँ, राजीव जी कर रहे हैं। हम शुरू कर देते हैं यहाँ।
हाँ, शुरू कर दीजिए,
क्योंकि अब 8 बज गए।
आप अनम्यूट कर दीजिए चीफ गेस्ट।
So I think let's start. First thing I want to welcome everyone.
यस, अब सबको म्यूट करके शुरू कर दे।
हाँ, राजीव जी सबको म्यूट कर दीजिए। मैं सर बोलना शुरू करता हूँ अभी। First, I want to welcome every one of you. We have a lot of distinguished guests जिन्होंने अपना, और हम अपने ये आज का जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है इसको हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में करेंगे, जिसमें आप ठीक समझे, कंफर्टेबल हों उस लैंग्वेज में आप बोलिए। हिंदी में हम इसलिए करना चाहते हैं कि उसको हम रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं और बाद में पूरे भारत में सब लोगों को अवेलेबल करेंगे इसको, तो हिंदी सब लोग समझ सकते हैं, इसलिए अगर हो सके कोशिश हो तो हिंदी में बोलिए, और अगर आप कंफर्टेबल हो इंग्लिश में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, तो ये पहले बताऊंगा। तो आई वांट टू वेलकम एवरी वन ऑफ यू, क्या आई कुड फाइंड आप, यू ऑल कुड फाइंड टाइम एंड यू कुड जॉइन अस। आज का दिन, वैसे तो दिन आज 19th है। You know that we are celebrating 16th of December, Vijay Divas, and I think you all know that Vijay Divas is the day when Pakistani army surrendered in front of Indian army, and Bangladesh was kind of it took place, it came into existence. आप लोगों को, बहुत से लोगों को पता है इसकी स्टोरी क्या हुआ, कैसे हुआ, मुझसे ज़्यादा आप जानते हैं क्योंकि आप बहुत से लोग वहाँ थे। मैंने अपने दोस्तों के थ्रू सुना है, मेरे एक दोस्त थे जो बीएसएफ में थे, जो मेरे साथ पढ़ते थे, वो वहाँ गए थे। जैसे आप सबको मालूम है कि आर्मी से पहले बीएसएफ को भेजा था इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने सादे कपड़ों में, तो ही वाज वन ऑफ देम, तो उनके थ्रू मुझे मालूम हुआ था सारा। तो he couldn't be there today, but I'm glad that's how I came to know about the whole thing. तो जी हाँ जेपी जी, मैं थोड़ा बोल लूँ उसके बाद में आपसे फिर आपको कहूँगा। तो मैं थोड़ा सा आई वांट टू गो ओवर कि हाउ वी गोना गो फ्रॉम हियर। तो पहले मैं आपको अपना फॉर्मेट बताता हूँ कि हाउ वी गोना गो इज वी आर गोइंग टू इंट्रोड्यूस, फर्स्ट होगा इंट्रोडक्शन जैसे मैंने आपको दिया है, मैं आपको बताऊंगा भी HSA क्या है, हमारा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या है, वो क्या है। उसके बाद मैं अपनी टीम को इंट्रोड्यूस कराऊंगा जो हमारी टीम है, और जो टीम है वो फिर आपके जो जितने भी गेस्ट हैं हमारे डिस्टिंग्विश्ड गेस्ट उनको इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे। तो जितने हमारे गेस्ट आए हुए हैं उनको इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे, और फिर उसके बाद फिर हम वी कैन इनवाइट आवर चीफ गेस्ट टू स्पीक, टू शेयर हिज experience with us, and then other guests that we are here, they're going to experience their experience with us. Time limited है, तो मैं I would request all of you to stay within the limits. Chief guests have about 10 to 15 minutes to speak. Other guests have about 5 to 10 minutes to speak, and other guests who wants to speak, they have 2 to 3, 4 minutes to speak, because we don't want to go over the time, because here is almost 8:30, and in India I think it's 8 o'clock in the morning. So just, I know most of you are very disciplined. We are not. We are civilians. So अगर मेरे से कोई गलती हो जाए, if I make any mistakes, so please pardon me. पहले मैं आपसे माफी मांग रहा हूँ हाथ जोड़ के। मैं कोशिश करूंगा कि मेरे से कोई गलती ना हो, लेकिन फिर भी अगर कुछ ऐसी बात हो जाए तो प्लीज ध्यान रखिए कि मैं आर्मी का नहीं हूँ, मेरे अंदर डिसिप्लिन इतना नहीं है, तो इसलिए मैं चाहता हूँ। तो अब मैं आपको 2 मिनट में थोड़ा बताऊंगा कि हमारे HRA क्या है। HRA का मतलब है हिंदुस्तान रिपब्लिकन एसोसिएशन। आपको याद होगा कुछ लोगों को फ्रीडम फाइट जब हो रही थी हमारी, उस फ्रीडम के साथ में सुभाष चंद्र बोस, चंद्रशेखर आजाद, भगत सिंह, बिस्मिल साहब और उन सब लोगों ने मिलकर एक एसोसिएशन बनाई थी, उसका नाम था हिंदुस्तान रिपब्लिकन एसोसिएशन, और उन्होंने अपना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया था, और उनका उद्देश्य था कि वो लड़ाई जो कर रहे हैं फ्रीडम फाइट, वो यूनाइटेड हिंदुस्तान के लिए की जाए, हिंदुस्तान रिपब्लिक के लिए की जाए। उनका ये नहीं था कि हमें अलग अलग पाकिस्तान हिंदुस्तान के हिस्से करने हैं बेस्ड ऑन देयर रिलीजन एंड दिस एंड दैट ऑल दैट, वो एक यूनाइटेड हिंदुस्तान के लिए लड़ाई कर रहे थे। तो हम उसी इंस्पिरेशन हमें उनसे मिली है, और उन्हीं के उद्देश्य जो उनके थे, उनके जो उन्होंने जिस उससे बनाया था, उसी के बेस पे हमने ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन शुरू की है, उसी नाम से बनाया है। ग्रुप कैप्टन शर्मा जी कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं आप? शायद मैं आपको मौका दूंगा, मैं जरा 2 मिनट मुझे दीजिए, देन आई लेट यू स्पीक। तो उसी के बेस पे हमने बनाया है, और हमारे इसके 2-3 उद्देश्य हैं कि हम अपने देश का, हमारा सबसे पहला, हम किसी राजनीतिक दल से नहीं है, किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से कोई एफिलिएशन नहीं है, हमारा एफिलिएशन हमारे देश से है, भारतवर्ष से हमारा एफिलिएशन है, और हम भारतवर्ष के ही जो भी उसका बेस्ट बेनिफिट होगा, जो उसके लिए काम करेगा, उसको हम सपोर्ट करेंगे। और आई नो वी रियलाइज कि हमारे जितने भी आप लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपनी लाइफ पूरी हिंदुस्तान के लिए लगाई, लड़ाई की, सब कुछ किया, मैंने इतना नहीं महसूस किया कि जब आप रिटायर हो जाते हैं तो लोग आपको भूल जाते हैं। तो हम चाहते हैं कि आप लोगों को भी हम एक ग्रुप में लेके आए, ताकि आपका लोगों को बताया जाए कि देखो हमारी आर्मी, हमारे एयरफोर्स, हमारे जवान जितने हैं, हमारे जितने वेटरन्स हैं, उन्होंने कितना सेक्रीफाइस किया है हिंदुस्तान के लिए। तो उसको भी हम उजागर करना चाहते हैं। तो वो हमारा एक उद्देश्य है। इस इवेंट को हम हर साल करेंगे। अभी तो हम पहली बार हमने किया है, तो हम रिमोट कर रहे हैं। हो सकता है नेक्स्ट टाइम तक हमारा कोरोना चला जाए तो हम इसको इन पर्सन करेंगे और वर्ल्ड वाइड करेंगे। हम अभी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि पूरे यूएस में हर सिटी में इसकी ब्रांचेस खुल जाएं, और बाकी कुछ कंट्री में हमने कांटेक्ट किया है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, न्यूजीलैंड में, इंग्लैंड में। तो वहां भी हम इसकी ब्रांच बना के जितने भी वेटरन्स हैं हम सबको इकट्ठा करेंगे, और इस डे को, आज़ादी दिवस को, हम जो है इसको हर साल पूरे धूमधाम से मनाएंगे। तो ये हमारा उद्देश्य है। अब मैं चाहूंगा कि मैं अपनी टीम को थोड़ा सा बताऊं। तो सबसे पहले हमारे यहाँ हैं, हमारे जिन्होंने इस संस्था को फाउंड किया है, वो हैं राजीव वर्मा जी। तो राजीव वर्मा जी के ही इनिशिएटिव से इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हमने शुरू किया, और उन्होंने मुझे प्रेसिडेंट बनाया, मुझे जिम्मेदारी दी, तो मैं अपनी जिम्मेदारी निभा रहा हूँ। राजीव जी हैं यहाँ। राजीव जी, आप हाय, नमस्ते और या जय हिंद बोलेंगे जरा?
Yeah, Jai Hind, Namaskar everybody. It's good to be in the company of veterans, war veterans, and it's really a pleasure to be in this program.
राजीव जी बड़े एक्टिव हैं यहाँ इंडियन कम्युनिटी में, इंडियन अमेरिकन कम्युनिटी में, पूरे देश में। इनको बहुत से लोग जानते हैं और इनकी बहुत अच्छी यहाँ पहचान है। तो राजीव जी हमारे बड़े अच्छे यहाँ वो हैं। दूसरे फिर मैं हूँ, मेरा नाम है श्री गौड़। मैं यहाँ 40 साल पहले आया था, और मैं भी बहुत दिन से यहाँ इन्वॉल्व हूँ इंडियन कम्युनिटी में, डिफरेंट लेवल पे डिफरेंट कम्युनिटी में इन्वॉल्व रहा हूँ। और जब राजीव जी ने मुझे कहा तो मैंने कहा ये तो बहुत अच्छा कॉज है, तो मैं इसमें आई जंप्ड इनटू दिस एंड I will do whatever I can to fulfill राजीव जी एक्सपेक्टेशंस। तो मेरा वो है, ये थोड़ा सा परिचय है। उसके बाद मैं कहूँगा अपने वाइस प्रेसिडेंट है देवेंद्र जी, वो भी यहाँ आए थे। वो तो वैसे साइंटिस्ट हैं, मिनोलॉजी के साइंटिस्ट, पीएचडी किए हुए उन्होंने, और वो भी काफी इन्वॉल्व है इंडियन कम्युनिटी में यहाँ तो बहुत दिन से। तो वी आर वेरी ग्लैड टू हैव हिम ऑन द टीम। उसके बाद हमारे हैं कर्नल सुनील अग्रवाल जी, जो यहाँ हैं काफी दिन से, वो भी इन्वॉल्व हैं इंडियन कम्युनिटी में, और उनको काफी अच्छी रिकग्निशन है यहाँ। और वो जो हैं, उनके साथ 2-3 लोग और हैं, अभी मैं बताऊंगा। सब मिलके उन्होंने ये फोरम शुरू किया है वेटरन्स का। तो दे टेकिंग लीड इनटू दैट। तो उनका बड़ा अच्छी बात है। वो उन्होंने भी 1-2 किताबें लिखी हैं, वो पोएट भी हैं, और उन्हें काफी दिन से 25 साल के करीब वो आर्मी में रह चुके हैं, कर्नल अग्रवाल जी। तो अभी मैं बहुत छोटा बता रहा हूँ, ज्यादा नहीं बोल रहा उनके बारे में, लेकिन ही इज ए वेरी ऑनेस्ट और पक्के आर्मी वाले हैं। अभी भी उनका वही है, जो जैसे आर्मी में काम करते हैं अभी भी वही तरीका है। कई बार हमें उनसे होती है कि अब आर्मी में नहीं है आप, तो सिविलियन हो जाइए, लेकिन अभी भी वो आर्मी के उसमें चल रहे हैं। तो बड़ा अच्छा है दैट वी आर सो ग्लैड दैट वी आर हियर एंड ही इज पार्ट ऑफ आवर टीम। नेक्स्ट आएंगे हमारे कर्नल शर्मा जी, राकेश शर्मा जी। वो भी काफी दिन से रहे हैं आर्मी में, और वो भी यहाँ उन्होंने एक ग्रुप बनाया है यहाँ, जो जिस ग्रुप में हम सब हैं। He took initiative and he is also very active in Indian American community यहाँ। काफी दिन से है, मैं उनको बहुत दिन से जानता हूँ। तो वो भी यहाँ काफी दिन से एक्टिव हैं, और बहुत उनका अच्छा रेपुटेशन है यहाँ। We are so glad that we are also part of here, and he later will be, all these members will be introducing the distinguished guests that we have later on. अभी जस्ट मैं उनके बारे में बता रहा हूँ। तो थैंक यू कर्नल शर्मा जी that you are part of the team now. उसके बाद हमारे हैं फ्लाइट लेफ्टिनेंट जयंत चौधरी जी, जो एयरफोर्स में रहे हैं, और वो भी हमारे टीम के मेंबर हैं। वो भी काफी दिन से यहाँ, जब से मैं उनको देखा है, काफी इन्वॉल्व रहे हैं, अभी भी इन्वॉल्व हैं कम्युनिटी, इंडियन कम्युनिटी में काफी काम करते हैं। बच्चों के लिए भी काम करते हैं, बड़ों के लिए भी काम करते हैं, बहुत सेवा करते हैं। मंदिर में भी काफी सेवा की उन्होंने। तो वो अभी भी काफी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में वो इन्वॉल्व हैं, और ही इज वेरी एक्टिव एंड आई एम सो ग्लैड ही इज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ आवर टीम। और एक हमारे दोस्त हैं, अभी पता नहीं वो आए हैं कि नहीं आए हैं, इंडिया से हैं, मेरे क्लासमेट रहे हैं, वो मेजर हैं, रणबीर जी। रणबीर, आर यू देयर? तो वो मेरे क्लासमेट हैं, मैं उनको इंट्रोडक्शन बताऊंगा बाद में थोड़ा सा। और मेरे एक अंकल हैं जो अभी आ चुके हैं, ग्रुप कैप्टन शर्मा जी, तो उनका इंट्रोडक्शन है कि वो काफी दिन पहले आए थे, एयरफोर्स में गए थे। और एक छोटा सा इंसिडेंट बताऊंगा मैं उनका, वैसे वो काफी जगह रहे हैं, उन्होंने जो मुझे दिक्कत देगा बहुत बड़ा उनका वो है, मैं थोड़ी सी बताऊंगा। वो पुलिस में भी रहे हैं, एयरफोर्स पुलिस में भी रहे हैं, और काफी जगह रहे हैं, बहुत दिन से उनका रहा, और रिटायर होने के बाद भी उन्होंने काफी उसमें काम किया है अभी तक। और उनका एक गोल है कि टीम इनिंग चलनी चाहिए जब तक आउट ना हो जाए आप। तो वो अभी तक टीम में है और खेल रहे हैं, ही स्टिल बैटिंग। लोकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे हैं इंडिया में, गुड़गांव में रहते हैं, मंदिर में काफी जगह इन्वॉल्व हैं, और बाकी वो हैं, अभी आप देख सकते हैं उनको, ग्रुप कैप्टन। उनका एक छोटा सा किस्सा बताऊंगा। जब वो इंडिया में थे तो वो रिक्रूटिंग ऑफिसर थे एयरफोर्स के। तो मेरा ड्रीम था कि मैं एयरफोर्स में पायलट बनूं। तो मैंने उनको कहा कि अंकल कैसा जी, आप मेरे पायलट, आप रिक्रूटिंग ऑफिसर हो, मुझे एयरफोर्स में आना है, तो क्या मेरी हेल्प कर सकते हो? तो उसने कहा अच्छा, मेरी आंख में, एक आंख में फर्क है, मेरी एक आंख से कम दिखता है। तो मुझे ने कहा बेटा तू नहीं आ सकता, तेरी आंख में एक गड़बड़ है। मैंने कहा कमाल है, आप रिक्रूटिंग ऑफिसर हो, आप नहीं कर सकते मेरे लिए कुछ? तो कहने लगे तू क्या बात कर रहा है, ये एयरफोर्स है, ये कोई पॉलिटिक्स नहीं है। तो मैंने कहा अच्छा। तो मुझे एयरफोर्स में नहीं मिला, तो मैंने फिर पॉलिटिक्स ज्वाइन कर ली। तो ये मेरे साथ, मेरे चाचा के साथ हुआ किस्सा। तो वो यहाँ है, तो मैं am glad that he is also here। तो ये थोड़ा इंट्रोडक्शन था हमारी टीम का। अब मैं चाहूंगा कि अब हम सुनील जी से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो हमारे चीफ गेस्ट और जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं उनका इंट्रोडक्शन करें। सुनील जी,
everybody.
कर्नल सुनील अग्रवाल जी, मैं आपको इनवाइट करता हूं। क्या आप, राकेश जी आप कुछ कह रहे हैं? अच्छा अच्छा,
सुनील अनम्यूट।
हाँ सुनील जी आइए।
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, India. Good morning. Good evening, America. It is my privilege and honor to introduce our distinguished guests. First of all, Lieutenant General Utpal Bhattacharya, PVSM, AVSM. He served Indian Army for almost 4 decades, 1968 to 2007. He is an established author and taken active part in Bangladesh operations Cactus Lily. As a young captain and in Kargil conflict, he was there as a chief engineer brigadier of the operational zone. He is an alumnus of St. Xavier College, Kolkata and IIT Kharagpur. He had served in all 3 hotspots, converting China, that is Nepal, Arunachal Pradesh, UP Tibet border, Darchula Lipu Lake, and of course, Ladakh region. He is known sports commentator and had been for Olympics in Beijing in 2008 and Asian Games Doha in 2006 as commentator for Doordarshan and All India Radio. Rajiv ji, can you highlight him? General Bhattacharya, if you say hello, we all can see you.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening.
Yeah, now we can see you.
And of course, good afternoon in Australia, because I have DK Jain on the screen.
Right.
Whatever introduction has been given by Sunil, we are from the same regiment, and he's also partial to.
Thank you, sir. I also take this opportunity to introduce Brigadier Satish Sharma from Corps of Engineers. Sharma, sir, say hello. Yeah, he's Brigadier Sharma. So he is an alumni of IIT Kharagpur, India. He is an undergraduate in architecture honors. He was trained in Indian Military Academy, and he is postgraduate in urban planning. Served Indian Army for over 3 decades in the Corps of Engineers and Defense R&D organization. After retirement, he headed a number of real estate projects, was a CEO of an IT company, and he also headed a university as a pro-vice chancellor. He is a veteran of the 1971 War of Liberation of Bangladesh, apart from serving in India, northern, western, eastern borders. He has authored a number of technical papers on the built environment. He now leads a retired life in Gurgaon, which is near Delhi.
ID वगैरह है, सुरीता जी join नहीं कर पा रही.
So We also have a couple of guests who have just consented to join last evening on my request. So Brigadier Mendiratta, Brigadier Mendiratta is a sapper officer also who in 1971 was involved with mine laying, river flooding and minefield breaching after the operations. He, myself and the Honorable Chief Guest General Bhattacharya served in the same regiment. He commanded the prestigious Assault Engineer Regiment raised after 1971 operations. And later he took care of the Indo-China border across Arunachal Pradesh as the chief engineer of one of the biggest corps of the Indian Army. He commanded an engineer brigade in offensive operations across Rajasthan. He did commendable task in aftermath of the Gujarat earthquake on 26 January 2001. Brigadier Mendiratta was honored with the Seva Medal, and that too after his retirement, which is very rare. Brigadier Mendiratta, sir, can we see you? Unmute kar दें. राजीव जी इनको unmute कर दीजिए.
या मैंने unmute कर दिया है पर.
Brigadier Mendiratta, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to see you here, sir. Very good.
My pleasure.
Yes, sir. So next is who just very recently agreed to join is Major General Ajay Chaturvedi. He is a veteran of Indian Army. Again, he has been recipient of 2 presidential awards during the service. And post-retirement, he has been a strategic analyst and a historian. His areas of interest are national security, disaster management, and value-based leadership. Has authored many books and chapters in many books, besides writing regularly on contemporary strategic issues. General's latest writing include 1970 War, which was a sappers' war, naval raid on Karachi during 1971 war, and water stealing by China. So, General Chaturvedi, is he? Hi, sir. Good to have you here. Thank you. So, Gaurji, I would request you to further the
Sure. Thank you.
webinar.
Now, Rakesh Sharma ji will introduce some of the guests. Colonel Rakesh Sharma ji. Colonel Rakesh Sharma ji, can you hear me? Rajiv ji, Rakesh Sharma ji को unmute करिए.
राकेश,
हाँ, अभी
unmute कर दीजिए ना.
अभी म्यूट पे हैं. रुके. राजीव जी, राकेश जी को अनम्यूट कर दीजिए.
मैं कॉल करता हूँ.
हाँ, मैं कर रहा हूँ. मैं देखता हूँ अभी.
Can you hear me now?
अब अनम्यूट हो गए. राकेश जी बोलिए.
Now you are unmute.
Firstly, I am honored to have the Sappers company today. I am a Tambi Sapper, and in the bulk of Bengal Sappers, I am the lonely survivor here. And Brigadier Mendiratta, incidentally, I am also a assaulter from Madras. So nice seeing you. General KB is expected anytime. General KB Kapoor. And I served in 38th Assault, and most of the time, and then I, of course, I had tenure with other regular engineer regiment in 19 day, 8 day, 17 day. And it is pleasure having you all here. And I have one guest here, Air Commodore Tyagi. Can you unmute him, please? Can you unmute him, please?
हेलो राजीव जी, त्यागी जी को. हाँ, हो गए. अनम्यूट है वो. अनम्यूट है.
I can't see him.
He's right here, Surinder Singh Tyagi ji.
Yeah. Incidentally, he holds the world record of sorties carried out on MiG-21, and he was awarded Vayu Sena Medal 2 times. Am I right, Vaisa? He can further explain himself.
He can hear you.
Vaisa, go ahead, please.
Good morning, good evening to all of you. It's really बहुत खुशी की बात है कि आपके साथ एक अवसर मिला है मिलने का. नहीं, मैं as good a soldier as anybody else is, who joins and works just to learn something, and what we learn, जो हम लोग सीखते हैं वो दूसरों को, अपने यंगस्टर को सिखाना चाहते हैं जीवन में, वही मैंने भी कोशिश की ये करने में. I was able to fly as much, which I didn't realize that I had, that my flying on MiG-21 is still highest in the world, in spite of my retiring in 1996.
Very good.
Medically
बहुत
fit
अच्छा,
रहे.
बहुत अच्छा. हाँ.
Because Russian only 3 years back requested chief that I may be specially invited. They wanted to present me with a special memento. तो इसलिए मुझे पता लगा, नहीं तो हम तो सोल्जर लोग हैं, अपना काम करते रहते हैं. And of course, if we come, we'll talk. I was in 1971. I operated from Guwahati for Bangladesh liberation, and most missions were directed towards bombing runway ढाका के दोनों रनवे, कुर्मितोला और तेजगांव, प्लस बहुत सारी आर्मी सपोर्ट. पर एक इसमें एक बात मैं कह दूं, नाउ इट्स नोन टू एवरीबॉडी, ड्यूरिंग द वॉर जब शुरू हुई थी, तो 5 तारीख को हमने ऑलरेडी बॉम्ब कर दिए थे उनके रनवे. और उस दौरान में जब 5 को मैं गया तो देखा एनिमी के जहाज बिल्कुल ग्राउंडेड हो गए थे. तो एक्चुअली आई डिड अ लूप ओवर ढाका रनवे, which I mean, it's a aerobatic maneuver during active war, which one of the उनके जो पायलट वहां थे, उन्होंने बहुत साल बाद लिखा उसमें कि भाई हमें यहाँ तो हम लोग फ्लाइंग नहीं कर पा रहे थे, और हिंदुस्तानियों ने आके हमारे उस पे हमें एरोबेटिक डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन दी. उस समय जब लड़ाई चल रही थी तो उनको बहुत चोट पहुंची उस बात से, और वो हमेशा यही कहते रहे. और जैसे आपको सब तो इंजीनियर हैं ज्यादातर, तो वो एमईएस वालों के पास गए जो उनकी थी, उसने कहा भैया तुम रनवे एक बार रिपेयर कर दो, एक बार तो जाके इनको ठीक करना ही है. पर वो उन्हें करने का मौका नहीं मिल पाया, बिकॉज हमने रनवे इतनी बुरी तरीके से डैमेज कर दिए थे. और मैं बस एक ही, बिफोर आई क्लोज डाउन, मे बी आई नॉट लाइक टू, अभी मैं बोल देता हूँ. द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग ऑफ दैट वॉर बांग्लादेश में जो था, जब 16 तारीख को 11 बजे पता लगा कि इनकी गवर्नर हाउस में कॉन्फ्रेंस होने वाली है, तो चीफ से मैसेज आई कि वी विल स्ट्राइक दैट प्लेस. एंड 12:30 एक्चुअली वी स्ट्रक. जो टूरिस्ट मैप होता है ढाका का, उस पे गवर्नर हाउस देख के पहले 4 हमारे स्क्वाड्रन से 2 और एक दूसरा स्क्वाड्रन 28 स्क्वाड्रन ऑपरेट कर रहा था. मैं 4 स्क्वाड्रन में था, उरियल. तो 4 एयरक्राफ्ट गए, और वो ढाका गवर्नर हाउस पे जहाँ पे कॉन्फ्रेंस होने वाली थी, वहां पे जब रॉकेट लगे, तो within half an hour they decided to surrender. So I feel very proud that I was part of the establishment जिन्होंने 1.5 घंटे के अंदर actually they planned the mission and carried it out and very successfully. तो बांग्लादेश और एक आई थिंक भारतीयों के लिए तो एक बहुत ही एक ऐसी चीज है जो ड्रीम है, और हर सोल्जर जो who fought there, because in the end we achieved so much of success which never happened in the world ever earlier. So I suppose a country split करके separate बना दी जाए, ये शायद पहली बार ही हुआ हो. तो I want to wish all the Indians and everybody who was part of that war, whether on Eastern Front or Western Front, my very best wishes. सबको मेरी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं.
Thank you, Commander Tyagi. And I would request you to stay for a while. Don't just leave right away. And you mentioned. Thank you. राकेश जी, बाकी लोगों को इंट्रोड्यूस करिए.
बाकी अभी
राजदीप बराड़ जी हैं.
ये अपना ब्रिगेड कर्नल तीरथ सिंह रंधावा किधर गए? I can't see him.
Yeah, he's here. Hello.
Yeah, I can see him now.
हाँ.
जो अगले प्रवक्ता हैं उनका नाम है कर्नल तीरथ सिंह रंधावा. He is from EME. He is locally based, but he was active in the Eastern Sector during 71 operations. And I will request him to speak few lines about the operation and the task he carried out.
He'll be talking in detail.
Talking will be later. Rakesh talking will be later.
Yeah.
You're just introducing.
Because he's one of the chief guests. He's one of the guests, so he'll be speaking.
Yeah, he will
Yeah,
speak.
right. So let's introduce all others.
Okay, this gentleman, you see him, Rajesh Sharma.
Jai Hind, everyone.
Jai Hind.
Brigadier Rajesh Sharma. He is my younger brother.
Hello.
Raju, go ahead.
जय हिंद एवरीवन। बहुत खुशी का मौका है कि अमेरिका में रहने वाले सभी भारतीय पूर्व सैनिक और जो सिविलियन वहाँ पे हैं, जो ये जज्बा रखते हैं कि भारत की सेना की जहाँ जहाँ विजय हुई है उसके बारे में गौरव महसूस करें। और अपने बारे में तो मैं सिर्फ इतना ही कहना चाहूँगा कि हम तो बच्चे थे जब 71 वॉर हुई थी, पर वो हमारे परिवार के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा मोटिवेटिंग फैक्टर था और एक एक करके सब फौज ज्वाइन करनी शुरू कर दी। और आपकी इत्तला के लिए ये भी बताना चाहूँगा कि एयर कमांडर त्यागी जो अभी अभी प्रवक्ता थे यहाँ पे, वो हम सब एक ही घर में रहते थे और हमारे घर से वो पहले इंसान थे जो सशस्त्र सेनाओं में जाके अफसर बने और उसके बाद तो उस बिल्डिंग में मतलब जो हमारा घर था सिलसिला शुरू हो गया। फिर उसके बाद जो अगले हमारे टेनेंट थे वो नेवी में ज्वाइन किया उनके लड़के ने। उसके बाद हमारे परिवार में एक के बाद एक 3 भाई हम फौज में आए। हमारी सिस्टर वो फौजी से शादी हुई उनकी, तो आप लगा लीजिए कि शायद मेरठ में उत्तर प्रदेश में एक ही इकलौता वो ऐसा बिल्डिंग रही होगी, ऐसा घर रहा होगा और एक ऐसा ब्राह्मण परिवार रहा होगा कि जिसने 3 लड़के फौज को दिए लड़ने के लिए और लड़की को भी एक फौजी से शादी की।
थैंक यू आपके परिवार के लिए, बहुत बढ़िया। कर्नल राकेश जी, और हमारे यहाँ राजदीप ब्रार हैं क्या? उनके फादर तो हैं, मैं जानता हूँ उनके।
हाँ, मैं राजदीप, I can't see him. Rajdeep,
I don't think he has come. Rajdeep,
I'm here. I'm here.
हाँ, राजदीप जी क्या बताइए आप थोड़ा सा, तो फिर वो अपने फादर के बारे में बताएंगे।
Yes. Next we have Major Rajdeep Brar. Of course, he is maroon beret. So you imagine that, one of those rare breeds. So his father is also on the call. I will request Rajdeep to say a few words about his dad.
Yeah,
he is ex-infantry
yes.
officer and he commanded Dogra Regiment. Rajdeep, please go ahead.
Anji, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello, everybody. Good morning to everyone in India and good evening here, of course, in North America. I'm Major Rajdeep Brar, and it's a privilege to be here in this gathering. I'll just introduce my father because he was the one who actually was a participant in the 1971 ops. And so here goes. Brigadier Kuldeep Singh Brar was commissioned into 4 Dogra Battalion in Nagaland in 1960. During the war with China in November 1962, he was wounded in the Battle of Walong. An alumni of the Australian Army Staff College in 1969, he was a brigade major of 48 Brigade, which successfully captured the Sejra salient in West Pakistan in 1971. He went on to command 10 Dogra Battalion from 76 to 79, and then 80 Brigade in Nowshera sector of Jammu and Kashmir in 1984 to 86. Subsequently, he was deeply involved with the conduct of war games Brass Tacks and Checkerboard. Retired in 1990, he divides his time these days between Chandigarh and his children in US and Canada. So over to Father Brigadier Kuldeep.
Hello, everyone. Good evening to those in the North American area, and also good morning to those in India. I would say happy Vijay Diwas to all, first of all. In the 71 war, India's primary strategic objective was in the east, to capture East Pakistan and facilitate creation of Bangladesh, while maintaining a strong and aggressive defensive posture along the West Pakistan border so as to deny Pakistan any territorial gains there. I was Brigade Major 48 Brigade, responsible for the vital Khemkaran sector opposite Pakistan's Kasur Lahore sector. In the 65 war, India had lost Khemkaran, leading to destruction of life and property, and a lot of people got killed, the civilians besides the army, and also uprooted. Thus, when we went there and took up our positions in Khemkaran, a lot of sarpanches came in delegation and they voiced their concern and worries that this time also would they be losing their homes and earths. and get killed. So I assured those delegations that this time not an inch of territory will be lost to Pakistan. Rather, we will capture most of theirs. Our brigade's main primary role was to defend Khemkaran sector. But secondary aim was to launch a limited offensive in Sejra Bal, Sejra salient, sizable chunk of territory Pakistan had towards our side. And that salient posed a threat to Harike Barrage. You must have known of this famous Harike Barrage on River Satluj and Beas. On 3rd December, when Pakistan launched air attacks on our bases, and on their ground troops also attacked 8 to 10 of our BOPs, all these attacks were repulsed by our troops on the ground. And on 5-6 December night, our brigade launched that limited offensive to capture Sejra salient. We had a brilliant battalion. A number of battalions were very good. First 5 Gurkha rifles, they were assault battalion. They did a brilliant infiltration maneuver and attacked Sejra salient, which was held by the Pakistan 1 battalion, and captured it by the morning of 6th December. That's overnight. By 6 morning, at 6 o'clock, entire Sejra complex was captured by us. And also, along with that, a company of the 9th Sikh that we had also knocked off 3 border outposts of Pakistanis in that salient. And a company from 6th Mahar under Major Sarah had established a blocking position behind or in the rear of Sejra to trap all the Pakistani troops that were withdrawing from Sejra. And they were able to trap a sizable number of Pakistani troops. By the morning, we were able to kill 91 Pakistani soldiers in that Sejra operation and capture about more than 100 Pakistani troops. Besides that, we seized a large number of arms and ammunition, large dumps. As a side issue, not a side issue, but a point, the introducer first said something about Chandrasekhar Azad and Subhash Chandra Bose. I may take a minute to say that I had the great honor and privilege to meet Subhash Chandra Bose in Malaya. I was a child in Malaya with our family in Kuala Lumpur. When he came to our school, we were studying there in Kuala Lumpur, 1943. That's the first time he visited our school. We sang Vande Mataram for him. I was among those 8 students who were selected to do that. He hugged us. I had still vivid memories of he hugging us. And that afternoon, I attended his rally in Pakistan, in Kuala Lumpur, the big ground, the park that they had. Entire Indian diaspora was there. What a great patriot! What a inspiring leader he was. I think he was the greatest leader in the class of Shahid Azam, Bhagat Singh and others. And he inspired a lot of Indians to join INA, of course, besides the people who had surrendered. Actually, he is the inspiration for me to join Indian Army. I had decided there and then, 1943, 44, 45, that when we returned to India, I would join Indian Army and serve the country. And here I am. Although I'm a veteran, but I still have that josh. Thank you. All the best.
Brigadier Brar, we are so glad that you're here among us and you serve our country. We are so very, very glad that you are here among us. Let's make this, I want to make one point right now. Let's keep introduction to minimum, and then we'll have opportunity for everyone to speak once we start with the chief guest that we have. So everyone has some time to speak. So let's keep right now just introduction. So I'm going to invite now to our Flight Lieutenant Jayant Chaudhary ji to invite 3 people, Captain Abhay Garg, Colonel Ved Prakash Sharma, Major Vineet Ranhan. So Flight Lieutenant Jayant Chaudhary ji.
Thank you, Garji. I have lots of seniors present here and very happy to see Air Commodore Tyagi, sir. I was feeling lonely, very few people from Indian Air Force here. So, sir, thank you for your service and honored to be part of the big tradition that we have in Indian Air Force. I joined Indian Air Force with the blessings of my father and mother, Shri Arun Kumar Chaudhary ji and Srimati K.K. Chaudhary ji. I would like to introduce 3 distinguished guests today, and they are here. Colonel Ved Prakash Sharma, sir. he was part of NDA. He commissioned in 67. And apart from all the big postings he had, the key postings that he served in was in Ladakh, and finally retiring from jungles of Nagaland in 2000. He did go to technical staff course also, and he had the honor of commanding a signal regiment in Operation Pawan in Sri Lanka in 89 to 90. His personal regret is, though he was in active service during 71 in Operation Vijay in 99, for destiny's reasons, his regiment was not selected to be actively participating, but he was part of the proud Indian Army at that time. That is Colonel Rajesh Prakash Sharma, sir. Sir, if you're on call, if you can please speak few words so we can have highlight on you, sir. I could not see you on the call, sir, but if you are there, please unmute yourself and just say a few words so we can see your face, sir.
Is he there? Was he there?
He was there.
No, I think
I saw him.
Oh, yeah. I hope you can see me now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he is here.
We can hear you, but cannot see you.
As I said, I was commissioned in the year of 1967. In 1967, retired in 2000, 33 years of service with nothing much to talk about except seeing of introduction.
Thank you, sir.
Very happy to
Nice
have
to
served
see you
with
on the
the
camera, sir.
Corps of Signals.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to be a part of this community here.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Going on to Major Vineet Ralhan, and I could not see him, but let me introduce him. He was commissioned in 88. He also went to Indian Military Academy and NTA. He comes from a defense background himself. His father was late Lieutenant Colonel Surinder Kumar Ralhan, and he served in Baramulla. That's one of the famous postings he had. And he is married to Mrs. Nupur Ralhan, who is also from defense background. So what you will see here is probably a combination of families, those who've been part of defense backgrounds. We heard from Colonel Sharma also. And her father, late Colonel A.K. Mehra, served in Army Dental Corps. And they have a daughter, and she has completed MS and started working now in USA. Major Vineet, sir, if you are here, I could not locate you again. If you are here, unmute yourself and speak few
Jen.
words so we can see you, sir.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Jen. Thanks for introducing me, and it's really a great honor and a privilege to be, part of this August gathering today. And it's great for Colonel Agarwal, Colonel Sharma, Major Rajdeep, Jayant. All of you have a great association over here. And thanks a lot. Thank you for introducing me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your service. Going on to Captain Abhay Garg, sir. One of my old friends, I should say, and buddy in Dallas. I did not know we came from defense background until by a quirk of fate when we acted in a drama together, which was about Indian Armed Forces. And we found out that we both come from that background. Captain Abhay Garg, sir, he went to Officers Training School in Chennai, which was also called Officers Training Academy. He was proudly commissioned in Regiment of Artillery as second lieutenant and posted in the prestigious 101 Field Regiment in year 1979. He served for 5 years and retired as a captain. Abhay sir, Captain Abhay sir, can you please say a few words so we can see you on camera?
Sure. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. My heartiest congratulations to Hindustan Republic Association of USA, the Dallas chapter, especially Shri Gaurji, for organizing this event. Feel very proud and very privileged to be in the August company of veterans like General Utpal Bhattacharya, though virtually, but our hearts are there, our souls are there. We've been soldiers. You can you can never take a soldier out of a person once he is a soldier. Now we are away from our Janbhumi. USA is our Karmbhumi. So my all the best wishes to all the veterans, whether they are in the Janbhumi or the Karmbhumi. Thank you so much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you,
Jai
Mr.
Hind, sir. Before I hand over back to you, Satish, Shri Gaurji, just like to thank my family also who is in USA, my wife Sonal, my daughters Meher and Malika, for continuing supporting. When you introduced me, you talked about all the things I could do. It's because of their support. Over to you back.
Thank you. In the last and not the least, I just want to formally introduce Group Captain R.B. Sharma. He was from the very high school. He was very interested, so he joined NCC at the high school. And he, in 1959, he passed with Flying B certificate. He was selected by IAF for admin duties and was commissioned after training on 23rd December 1964. In services he was deployed for admin, security, recruiting, legal staff officer, Air Force police duties, till he retired from active service in May 1994. Soon after, in June 94, he was selected as the director admin by AFNHB. I don't know what that means. That means, I think, Air Force National Housing Board. And after that, he got another, further he was selected by the Ministry of Rural Development, GOI, national level monitor of 2004 and services then till the age of 70 years in mid-2020. And as I told you, he believes in the inning is not over until you are out. And he's still active in a lot of different organizations. So Group Captain R.V. Sharma, can you say hi to everyone, please?
Hi everybody, can you listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Our friend, good evening to all of you and good morning to those from India. Well, as Sri has said, I mean Sri Gaur, I would say, I can't call him by the Indian name. Well, I had interest in defense right from the very beginning, and in the year 1959 itself, I joined NCC Air Wing. And from there, I flew also and passed out with a B certificate. Thereafter, because of this B certificate, I was also called for 1962 after the Chinese operations. But as it is, the Indian families, my mother said nothing doing. And well, in any way, then I applied for ground duty. I was selected in the admin branch and was commissioned on 23rd December 64. My first posting itself was in operational unit at the Eastern Sector, the details of which I cannot reveal for obvious reasons. And in fact, we did the groundwork for 1971, let me tell you. It was not in a day that we won the war. The efforts had continued for years. So in 1960 war, I was in the Eastern Sector and did contribute to what extent I could. Some problem? Mr. Gaur, you are out of the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me come back.
Mr. Rajiv Verma is coming online.
Actually, ठीक है, कोई नहीं. I'm online also now.
Achha, now we are okay.
Yes.
Then, sir, what I was saying that we had done our bit in 1965 war, then to 1971, and we used to provide whatever admin support we could to our forces. After, I served in various assignments, and even in fact, I was the boss of Air Force Police for 7 years in Delhi, and I had contributed in planning 7 Republic Days and 7 Independence Days while being at Delhi. So maybe that because of course, I was 2 times I was committed by the AOCNCs and the Chief of Air Staff. I think that disturbance is coming. Again, Mr. Rajiv Verma's name I can see here.
No, he's also he's controlling everything, but I'm here. Don't worry.
Acha, okay, got it. And I mean, sorry, I mean, my spoken Hindi is not very good, so I'm speaking in English. Though I mean, I can talk. And after I retired from Air Force in 1994, and soon after I was selected as a director. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Director, admin, Air Force Naval Housing Board, and my duty was to catch people to make sure that they are provided with the housing, and housing at no profit basis. And anybody, I mean, I found, I mean, officer or airman or from the Navy without a house, I used to shout at them and then used to ensure that they join in. Once I retired from there in 2000, again, there was an open competition. I was selected as the national level monitor by the Ministry of Rural Development, as Mr. Gaur has said, in New Delhi. And I retired when I completed my 70 years. So that means for nearly 50 years, I had been associated with the defense and working and all that. And that discipline perhaps has gone into my children also. And now, even today, I had been the chairman and first I was president, then they made me chairman of our Residents Welfare Association, and I am the member of our Radhakrishnan Mandir. So this, I would say, is a grooming of by all, I mean, that the defense had given me. And I'm really grateful to all of you that today we are speaking to each other and experiencing whatever exposure we had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite our chief guest who's been very patiently waiting for all this. So, where is Lieutenant General Bhattacharya ji? I would request you to share your experience with all of us. And you have time to let us know exactly what you've been doing. I know I really appreciate your patience that you've been waiting. So please, you are on now. Go ahead, please, sir.
Thank you, Gaurji. Actually, at the outset, I must thank you and the Hindustan Republican Association for associating me in this August gathering. 2 days back, today is 19th in your country. 3 days back, we celebrated 49th Vijay Diwas, which, as you have been mentioning, was a decisive victory of the Indian Armed Forces. And a new nation was born, Bangladesh was born, and of course, the adversary was dismembered in two parts. The West Pakistan, East Pakistan became Bangladesh. I'll take a couple of minutes to give a little flashback. You see, 47 was the partition, and August 47, and by February 48, the seed was sown that East and West cannot stay together. I'm talking about Pakistan. Because in February 48, it was declared that Urdu is the only official language in Pakistan. And that gave rise to a Bhasha Andolan, that is, that Bengalis, Muslims, they are more in numbers, their language is not recognized. So it continued from 48 to 52. And 52 on 21st February 52, a lot of Dhaka University students, intellectuals, all were gunned down because of this language problem. And that's how 21st February every year it is celebrated as the Vernacular Day or the Mother Tongue Day. So the die was cast in 1948 February, enhanced in 1952. 1966. So they were away from Muslim League from that time onwards. Let us leave from 1966. 1966, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he made that Awami League. 1969 is a landmark year when Ayub Khan transferred the power to Yahya Khan, and Yahya Khan said, well, I will establish the democratic government. I am just a person who has come to hand over from military to the democratic civil government. So the election took place at the end of December, but before the election, there was a murderous cyclone in Bangladesh, which is known as the Cyclone Bhola, because of which 5 lakhs Bangladeshis got killed, and there's a total lackadaisical approach from the government of Pakistan. That was one of the reasons, that's not the only reason. Out of 300 seats in Pakistan, national 162 were in East Pakistan, 138 was in West Pakistan. Out of 162, 160 was garnered by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And out of 138, Bhutto got 87, I understand, yeah, 87. So that was the situation, but the power struggle continued till the month of March. Bhutto will not share power with East, though he had the absolute majority. Yahya Khan was also dragging his feet, and then all talks and everything went in a jimbo. And on 25th March, the moment Yahya Khan left Dhaka, about to reach Pakistan, they call it Operation Searchlight started, that is genocide of Bangladeshis there. From March to December, since the time operation started, some says 3 lakhs Bangladeshis have been killed, and some says 30 lakhs, 3 million Bangladeshis have been killed. You can take any figure in between, that figure has still not been fixed till today. We were active from June onwards. It was a die-cast because from April onwards, the flow of refugees started coming into our territory. 509 refugee camps were established inside India. There were 1 crore, 10 million refugees. Out of that, about 70, 80,000, they were separated out from Mukti Bahinis, but there were 1 crore refugees in our country. Anyway, the operations couldn't be made fast forward because of the terrain. I will come to that a little later. And so operation started on 3rd. Operation started on 3rd December, as you know, and 16th was, of course, the Vijay Divas for which we are celebrating today. Now, I will cover the operation quickly in our military jargon, what is known as the 5 T's. What was the terrain like? What was our task? What was the threat from the other side? What are the troops we had and how much time we had? As far as terrain is concerned, most of you have been in USA for a couple of decades, so I will draw an analogy with the Mississippi Delta. The Dhaka was ensconced within a delta, one of the largest river delta in the world. Its size is about 4 times more than the Mississippi Delta, what you have in your southeastern USA. So because of that, Dhaka is situated at a place as if the New Orleans is garlanded from 3 sides by Mississippi River, and on the south, of course, the Gulf. Similar situations for the Dhaka. So from whichever directions you want to approach Dhaka, you have to face about 3 to 4 huge water bodies. You have to do the rafting, you have to do the bridging, you have to do the ferrying, all sorts of things. So Dhaka was responsible because 13 days was, how 13 days was so short, but still it could be achieved. I'll explain it later. So it was, I was a part of the Eastern Thrust, that is from Tripura side, which reached Dhaka. My colleague also, I can see it on the screen, Brigadier Satish Sharma, we are from the same regiment, we are together there. So there basically, now this was the terrain, and like any other delta, flat, riverine, marshy, bearing capacity of the soil is little on the lower side. So in addition to all those three things I said, bridging, ferrying and rafting, we had to lay a lot of track materials also for especially our light tanks, because PT-76 is an amphibian tank which can swim into the water, and 130 millimeters, 5.5 tons of we had to carry. Now I come to the task. Task was, as one of our distinguished speakers mentioned, to make a little bit of offensive defense in the western sector, and the eastern sector, a race for the Dhaka, soonest with the mostest. One point here, because we have to reach there fastest, because a lot of things are going on in UN. As you know, between 5th and 13th, UN met 5 times on this issue. But the veto couldn't be obtained thanks to USSR those days. So the strategy was what we call rushing torrents. Means any island of opposition, you bypass it, you circumvent it, and go behind it with the maximum amount of force so that the enemy is in a panic and despondency, and that's exactly what had happened. And as Air Commodore Taigi was mentioning very correctly that when they came and bombed the governor house, and that Governor Malik, he himself put out his resignation, but he didn't know where to send, whether to send to West Pakistan or no. The telegram was not going from their end. He tendered resignations at 11:30, he was right on that particular day. So all such things were happening. The task was to have it soonest with the mostest. That's the main thing. Two basically thrust lines, one from the Calcutta to Srinagar side, eastern thrust, the port side, western thrust, and one is ours, that is the eastern thrust. The few other subsidiary thrusts from the top, north and northwest. There's a bit of an operation towards south, Chittagong and Feni also. This in short was the task. Then I come to T3, that is the T3 is the enemy, that is the threat. Enemy had about 3.5 divisions there. They had 1.5 squadron of Armored Corps, Air Force, and our Air Force did a magnificent job. By 6th, we didn't have the favorable air situations. It was picnic on the air. There's nothing which could obstruct us, excepting some few ground-based attack guns, as we call it. Otherwise, there's no opposition as far as the Air Force concerned, as Air Commodore Taigi so nicely mentioned. Purvitola, Tejgaon, both the airfields were absolutely bombed. Their runway was spoiled, their taxiway was spoiled, and others. So the few of the sabers what they had, they got grounded. They could never be airborne. And our Navy, they were protecting. They were on the other end of the Chittagong. They did their job in Karachi. So there's no problem from the water side also. So our forces could go absolutely merry hell over there. So the enemy's threat, as I mentioned, their Navy was also just looking at 7th Fleet, the Task Force 74 was already at the threshold of Bay of Bengal. So they were probably looking for their help. So their Navy was not much of a help as far as they are concerned. At Chittagong, some of their Navy, they were all loaded, they were all ready to take the people to the West Pakistan. They could not take off after third. So that was the situation, that was the threat. I come to the fourth quickly. That is the time. Time, as I mentioned, was very, very important. You remember, 15th was the day when Bhutto realized, he got the message from anywhere, the things are gone, probably within the next 24 hours there will be total surrender. That is the time he walked out of the UN Security Council tearing all the papers. In the end, I will say this was one of the decisive, glorious victories. But one minute I will take to mention our behavior, our professionalism at the end of the war. Our logistics made sure that there is no problem with the non-Bengali Muslims in Dhaka. So one of our jihad regiment was there to guard them. They have got certain places like Gulshan and all in Dhaka. Similar thing had happened in Chittagong, so that the so that in Chittagong also, so that there is no riot which is taking place by the Mukti Bahini towards the Rajakars, as they call it, or towards non-Bengali Muslims. It was all controlled, it was all monitored by our Indian Army only. And our Indian Army, everybody after, because we fought a 13 days war, all right. Span looked 13 days, but we are having a trench warfare. We are having a tough life. We uprooted ourselves from our permanent locations about 5-6 months back. So our army also had to go through all these rigmarole for the last 6-7 months. It was not a question of 13 days. So the victorious army after 13-14 days, and you are in a city like Dhaka, city like Chittagong, Jessore, Khulna, Sylhet. So, but still all our men, airmen, sailors, soldiers, they behaved in a magnificent manner. I will end by saying that the New York Times famous Pulitzer winner reporter, Mr. Sidney, he mentioned that I had been with the US soldiers also in Vietnam. And this Indian Army is something not only professionally good, absolutely, they have shown the exemplary behavior which can be imbibed by the rest of the world. Mr. Sidney of New York Times, he himself has written. So that is one thing. It was not only a glorious victory, it was after victory how we behaved. I remember the Colonel Rahman was a fat-looking Bengali doctor who was the CEO of the combined military hospital, that's what they call it, in Dhaka. He told me, you know, I was very worried because I had 250 daughters here and the victorious army is rushing into Dhaka. What is going to happen to them? He named the nursing officers 250 for them. But I find one of the Indian troops with some 30-40 people, they came and for the protections of their quarters and the messes and all these things. This we can never forget. So I thought I will add that also. Thank you very much finally, and of course I will be available for the Q&A at the end of it, whatever doubt you have. But I have made it short. I have kept it within 14 minutes, not 15.
Now, next, we'll invite Brigadier Satish Sharma ji. Please share your experience with us. Brigadier Satish Sharma ji. Brigadier. मैं आपको अनम्यूट करता हूं, आप म्यूट हैं, एक मिनट रुकिए जरा, देखता हूं मैं अभी. आप अनम्यूट हैं, जरा बोलिए, आप अनम्यूट हो गए. जी हाँ, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही अभी. आपको माइक को पास करना पड़ेगा, आप थोड़ा दूर हैं.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you, yes.
Okay. I'll start all over again.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Gaur Saab. It's been such a pleasure to be, hearing these stalwarts which have preceded me now, starting from General Bhattacharya, Tyagi Saab, and all the others that have really made this morning a wonderful opportunity. I really had no idea when Sunil, my regimental mate, had asked me to come and join us on this, occasion to celebrate the Vijay Divas. And I am so happy to, number one, to ये जज्बा देख के जो USA के अंदर आप लोग जो mother country से इतने साल, इतने decades हो गए होंगे शायद, who have been away from your homeland, to continue this thread of the feel for the nation and to recall, commemorate such, occasions with so much of fervor is really praiseworthy. I must congratulate each one of you, Gaur Saab, and everybody else, the team that has been introduced at the beginning of this program, that it seemed to be believed. And it also gave me an opportunity to actually meet so many other service people other than those which we keep, meeting in our career. So great. It's been, in short, it's been wonderful experience, and I hope this continues. In fact, this is the 50th year. And, at the end of this 1 year, we will be even a bigger event of the 50th year of celebration of this great war of liberation. Not only the Indian martyrs, I think it's a moment to recall with a silent prayer, all the martyrs, people who lost their lives, people who lost their limbs, who gave everything, not only in India but also in Bangladesh. In fact, the very fact that it's called the Liberation War, it is liberation for them. A kind of a nation which was oppressed. General Bhattacharya just mentioned that right from 48 onwards, this feel that this two-nation theory just is an impossibility to sustain 1,600 kilometers from one part of the country to the other. The only thread being religion, it got evidently proved that it is not a sustainable way to link. East was east and west was west. On the west, we had the Punjabis, all the Chaudhries and the Khans and the Meers who were feudal, basically. And on this side, on the east, were people who were middle class intellectuals, teachers, lawyers, you name them. But they were the people who actually held the rule. So it was something which had to happen. That it took 25 years to make that happen. Because, in fact, of their own mistake, the folly entirely lay with Pakistan, who chose to take this route of genocide on their own people. I think there was no other occasion in the world that your own people are become an occupation force. So it was only natural that the leadership would be thrown up, and on 25th March. When this genocide was thrust upon, the nation spoke in one.
We lost you again. We lost your voice. Yeah. We're not able to hear you. Brigadier.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you, yes.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how much you missed, but I was on this background, which, General Bhattacharya paved the way. And I was only recalling that the disaster that the Pakistan army and its establishment gave it upon itself by launching this genocide, by who got this, the name, the Butcher of Pakistan, that is General Tikka, who let loose a reign of terror. And we wouldn't even known other than, what the migrants would come and dribblets. But for the fact that what again mentioned by General Bhattacharya, 2-3 of these journalists who came across, one was Anthony Mascarenhas, who had been taken of all the things by Pakistan on a kind of a guided controlled tour, and who was appalled that what has befallen this, part of our nation. And he went back and he couldn't remain in Pakistan. And he found an excuse to fly across to London, where he met straight away he went to the Sunday Times editor and broke the story. And similarly, there were 2-3 others like Simon Dring and Sidney Schanberg, if I'm not wrong, from the New York Times and Daily Telegraph, who brought this, that in the middle of the night at 11 p.m., tanks have actually rolled out. They've gone to Dhaka University. They have lined up the students over there. Iqbal Hall, that's what we are told was the real hub where the students would meet. And they were done to death, 1,500 in one night, and the genocide continued. And the migration which took place, we are all aware, it swelled in numbers right from, I think, 100,000 to 400,000 to 700 between May, August, and right up to 10 million at the end of the, before the operations. So what was India left with? There was no choice they had to move back these millions back to their own homeland. And obviously everything was tried diplomatically, as well as, and obviously the army had been sounded. In fact, we were in NIFA at that time, the erstwhile NIFA, which is now Arunachal, and we all in the regiment, that is General Bhattacharya, and many of us. And in fact, the armies were at different places. And you may now recall, I mean, this is a well-known part of the history, how General Manekshaw, he asked for time for all the right reasons. And it is that time that was preparation. We all moved in. In fact, if you would know, most of us, that there was nothing as, we confronting the east side. All our forces there were facing the Chinese. 62 had been too recent, only 9 years before that. And here were forces which were mountain divisions, which had to do a plains role. They were facing in opposite direction, actually reoriented them, move forces from left, right, and center. And he stood up. And it is to the credit of the Prime Minister then, Indira Gandhi, who actually agreed to that 5 or 6 months, which is absolutely crucial. He just, General Bhattacharya mentioned about this terribly riverine, which was even a difficult matter, even in December, what to talk of when this was talked about in April, May, or June, when the monsoons would break and, the entire force would have got bogged down. So to stand up to the establishment of the powers that be at the right time and the right place is one of the first lessons that comes across that this country, this nation has to remember forever. And many other instances speak, in fact, of quite the opposite. One cannot say the same thing for IPK, for example. There's nothing peacekeeping about it, and they got embroiled, we got embroiled, right in the middle of a war which is somebody else's, and any number. Kargil with hands tied, there is a LC which we cannot cross over, particularly the Air Force, and dozens of it. So that's one thing which comes out straight and clear. The second time is the prelude, is the clear political aim, which again has not been the norm for this country and many others. And that's how a clear military aim came to be. Unless and until that had been spelled out, we wouldn't know. I mean, why are we going in? What is the reason? Parakram, for example, one cannot say that the clarity was there. They were dithering. People stayed out in the limb for a year plus or thereabouts. Not to digress, but the fact is that this is what worked, possibly, and we have to derive lessons for future conflicts from these two very fundamental issues. So the planning began. If I put myself, in fact, I was a captain, so was General Bhattacharya. We were young captains and hardly got an overview. In fact, there was no overview as far as we were concerned. If anything, it was probably a worm's eye view. But the worm's eye view had all the taste of the real battle, which was, we were in the wake of the infantry, as engineers always are, and quite often right up in the front, enter beginning, end up last. In fact, when Commodore Bhattacharya, Tyagi, when he was talking about the Dhaka airfield that they had gone and bombed it, I wish to intervene at that time that our regiment actually went and repaired it just before coming out in February, March, which was one of the first tasks which the engineer regiment, our engineer regiment 234, did before coming out, was this. So the short point that, end-to-end kind of a sapper involvement. And while all these big plans were being chalked out, we were doing a very basic but very important task of, building the habitat for the 4 Corps, which we were part of at that time. And we had moved, as I said, from NIFA with, shedding all our heavy equipment. We were there, young people. And the amount of, support we used to get from the local government, in our case, Tripura, the amount of help that these migrants who had, just moved out, the refugees, an entire township grew up in front of our eyes within weeks, although it was all temporary, Basha kind of thing. But we had water supply going, we had electricity going, and we as young captains would see our seniors, colonels, brigadier generals, poring over maps and sitting with torchlights while we were doing all this. So that was a kind of an environment that we were waiting. And almost every evening there used to be discussions that is there going to be a war, not war, if so, when? And all these fructified into a fantastic plan, thanks to General Manekshaw's, then General Manekshaw's, vision and his kind of leadership, which flowed down right from General Arora, the Eastern Army, and to each one of us. We were, as I told, part of 4 Corps, which became the main thrust. In fact, it had 3 divisions compared to the other 2 thrusts. So Bangladesh, then East Pakistan, had actually got, straight-jacketed from the east of their east, were us in the 4 Corps. From the west was this newly created 2 Corps with 2 divisions. From the northeast and northwest, there was a 33 Corps from the Siliguri side and from the 101 Com Zone area, which actually, had a very shorter route and reached on 15th of December. So did the leading elements from this 4 Corps, and we were right behind. And the third thing that comes out is the kind of flexibility and innovation which the army, the leadership, and the rank and file would throw up at any time. Engineers, of course, always have to do the jugaad, the innovation, the flexibility, but it was seen. Somebody just mentioned in another recent webinar that how he, being from the Air Force, recalled General Sagat Singh's, call for heliborne operations. So there he was, Meghna was right in front, which General Bhattacharya mentioned, which looked like a sea to us, when we saw it from this side of the shoreline. And across was Ashuganj and the Pakistani brigade, if I recall. And here the flexibility of mind, they call the helicopters from there for they're available. And the leading front, leading elements of the infantry, they were crossed across and they were just sitting there. So that kind of an aim, which came in from the political side, converted to this thing that don't hit your wall, a head against a wall, bypass where it is required, and checkmate. Go for the jugular, go for Dhaka. And there were 10 of these fortress towns which were, planned and actually held in very great strength, and lots of very bitter battles. And many of us have heard many people recall them right from, Jamalpur. The other day we were hearing some of the people talk about the Battle of Hilli, Jamalpur, and Jassore, you name it. In fact, in our area, Gangasagar, where Albert Ekka got his Paramveer Chakra from 14 guards. So there were strong points and they were actually held. Their bravery was not from this side alone. Bangladeshis, their own Mukti Bahini, 10 major battles, fought one after another. So when it was talked about those MiGs were actually strafing the governor's home, at the same time, these leading elements had already reached and they were knocking. We played a small part in this, coming and hitting Dhaka, the jugular of the nation, by, rafting across these 5.5-inch guns, the medium guns, to a raft, class 18 raft, and they were. And ingenuity, in fact, some of our Bengali, General Bhattacharya, he would converse with the locals over there that how will we carry these rafts? 50 nautical miles from this place called Brahmanbaria down the Meghna, getting on to, if I'm not wrong, I think Daud Khandi, then Narayanganj. And from where Dhaka was a stone's throw, these guns came and boomed. So here there are leaflets flying down from the aircraft, the psychological war, the strafing at the, the governor's house itself, who scribbled, I believe, a note which he was mentioning just now as his resignation, these guns booming, and it was actually checkmating completely. So imagine almost a lakh plus of strength, and 93,000 had to come and lay down their arms, 80 odd of the military and the rest of the civilian dependents as well. So can you imagine that with, going by a plan which has to work, go for what is actually the key to the crux to the whole thing. And you can, lay down entire armies who just some of them gave pitched battles even in the successive stages while falling back to Dhaka. In fact, that was their plan. Other than the crust, these 10 of the fortresses, and then give successive battles to Indian Army, which happened, which didn't happen, as a matter of detail and history. So these were some of the things. Mukti Bani, I mentioned, needing a very special mention, in fact, and Ziaur Rahman, some of the, I think, Z for Zulu, Zulu sector, I think in Chittagong, if I'm not wrong, and many others, Kandekar, who then, turned, the sides, and we saw the tragic assassination of Mujib in 75, 15th August 75. Intelligence. That was another area which, I'll take a minute, possibly I've run out of my 10 minutes. Intelligence. I actually had the, great fortune after the war, posted to Army headquarters in Delhi, and I was, participating, in the design of the RAW building. RAW had its finest hour in this Bangladesh war, and R.N. Cow and his team used to be called Cowboys that time. So I was on the design team as an architect, planning their the headquarters, and there used to be some interaction with some of their mid-level people who had actually participated. And I also had an opportunity to take out some of the very senior operatives of RAW who had got so much embedded in the Pakistan establishment in Dhaka that the Bangladeshis, the nationalists, they were going, hammer and tong for them. They were in the list of people who would be needed to be tried for war crimes. That was the kind of camouflage and deep embedding of assets which had happened. And I traveled with them. This was one of the small tasks given to me, that I had to escort them back to a safe house in Agartala, and about 8-10 hours again by the river going, and then some part of it by road. Some of them, normally people are not very communicative, and for the right reason, but one did find out as to how operating. So these were some of the recalls that after 50 years, some memory, fades out, but some of these things remain very, very active in my mind, and a collective, recall of, the history of those times. And I think it was absolutely, this was the real jihad for the Bangladeshis. An oppressive regime had been moved out by the help of Indians, by their own who had all the passion that is required by an oppressed people to throw out an oppressive occupation regime and come out as a new nation, a birth of a new nation. With these few words, thank you very much for having me over. And once again, a happy Vijay Divas and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Brigadier Sharma ji. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We don't have much time left, so let me call. I think that Colonel Randhawa has already spoken. Right, Colonel Randhawa? You already have shared your experience with us, right? So we're going to move on to.
Not yet.
Before
not
that,
yet.
I would ask Dr. Colonel Sharma to introduce his brother. Just brief introduction because we don't have time, and we'll talk. We'll go to the next. Please,
Mr. Gaur, I haven't spoken. I want to thank. Can I speak?
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity of thanking the organizers to assemble together such an august and very honorable group of people, generals, brigadiers, so many senior officers who have lined out the complete process, the history of the liberation of Bangladesh. I will not go into all the details of the history again, the strategies and the tactics, but I would like to give you my experiences that I've personally had during the operations, 71 operation in Bangladesh, before the operations and after the operations. As a second lieutenant, I was posted to Assam in 1968. And from 1968 till after the war, 71, that means 72 March, I was there in that area. So I was posted to Silchar. That I was there on the station. When I reached there, I was received in a boat because it was the rainy season there. The roads were all flooded. So the Subda Major came and received me. I was a second lieutenant. He took me to the mess, and then next day I reported to my OC Major Malhotra. That was the OC of 205 Independent Field Workshop Company, which was giving cover to 311 Infantry Brigade. So during those period before the war, I was supporting the troops, which were the counter-insurgency troops, counter-insurgency which was going on in Mizo Hills. So I have traveled the roads from Silchar to Lungle, Aijal, Verangte. Verangte was the place where the CIJWS school was there, counter-insurgency and jungle warfare school. So all the convoys which went on that road from Silchar to Aijal were all protected. They had a convoy guard in front, a guard at the back, and there was a lot of attacks on the convoys during that time. So this was my counter-insurgency experience which I gained. And during this time, I had one of my roommates was the Brigade Ordnance Officer Mukherjee, and I still remember those days that he had gone out to buy some vegetables from the local market, and the local Mizo insurgents, they kidnapped him, and next day we learned that he was butchered. So these are some of the memories which are still there in my mind, and I was just 22 years old that time, and I still remember those days. And that after that, I was actually posted out from there in November 71. I went and reported to the College of Military Engineering for my degree course. And when I reached there, I was given a movement order back to report to Agartala that the war is commenced, so you have to go back. So I traveled that time 4 days from Silchar to Punjab on a 15 days vacation, Punjab to Pune for my degree course, reported there, and then again 4 days back to Silchar. So November, I was back in Agartala. During that time, I moved a convoy from Silchar to Agartala with the DQ. My DQ was Major Karambaya. And that is still in my memory, that during that convoy, we had a sad event that on the way, one of the vehicles during the hilly terrain toppled over. It took 3 turns, and then on a flat area, it went and stood straight. The engine was running, the headlights were on, all the troops at the back, there were about 20 troops at the back. They were safe, nothing happened to them, but unfortunately in the co-driver's seat, the second lieutenant who was sitting there, he got crushed under the truck. And I was in the last vehicle, being from the EME, I got my recovery vehicle. So we got down, I called the DQ, and then we got the vehicle up, and we took the youngster to the hospital first, tried to revive him, but then he was no more there. So this happened in my arms. So this has been a sort of my memories there from there. Then I reached Agartala. At Agartala, we were in December. The troops moved from Agartala via Akhauda, Brahmanbaria, Ashuganj, and on to Dhaka. So during those moves also, there were we recovered a lot of tanks which were stuck down in the marshlands. And we brought back a lot of enemy guns to our area, to the workshop. So I was commanding the AWD, Advanced Workshop Detachment. And there I had, we all remember all the senior officers who contribute to the war, but we always miss out the little man who sacrifices his life. I remember last night Albert Eka, who was awarded Paramveer Chakra. He had come to my workshop a number of times with radio sets, equipment, weapons for repair, and he was a very, very dashing boy. And we lost him. His bravery is known, well known, and they have issued a postal stamp on his name, and he has been recognized well. We should keep him in our memories. Then I reached Dhaka along with there was an intelligence officer with me, Captain Rishi. We both went there to Dhaka, and on the day the signing ceremony was done at Dhaka airport, I was there when they landed there. From there, they went to the race course where the surrender ceremony took place. So all this, after 50 years, all this is like a dream-like memories. And it's been going over last few days since my friend Shri Gaur asked me to come and say a few words. All these memories have been going over my mind again and again, again and again. And they have been coming afresh. So from there, with Captain Rishi, who was the intelligence officer in the brigade, we were asked to assess after the surrender. We were asked to go to Chittagong to assess the situation that all the other troops, they have all surrendered and everything is in control. So I have been traveling. I was traveling with him to Chittagong and back to Agartala. So during this period, we had certain guns which we captured. So I have a picture of the gun along with the men that accompanied with me. Similarly, this is the 105 millimeter gun which was captured. And at Agartala, we had my friend Captain P.P. Singh. And you can see under that here, this is the bunker that we used to move in whenever shelling used to start. So in the meantime, during the recovery of these tanks and the guns, I had come across a lot of casualties of the Pakistani army in the field ambulance groups which were established there. And their wounded soldiers and their prisoners were treated very well. That was the difference which our very well professional army does not get involved in, that is harassing or torturing the prisoners and the injured. They were being looked after very well. They were being looked after extremely well. So I was, a little bit of my history, I was commissioned in 1967. I did my senior Cambridge from King George's School, Belgaum, with a first class honors. Then I joined the NDA, IMA, 1967, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant, did my YOS course, 68. And in 68, then I was posted to Silchar. So I don't want to go over all the history after that. In the IMA, some people might recognize me from this picture here. In the center is General Katoj. He was the Vice Chief of Army Staff. He was the chief guest. And on his left is myself. And on the right is Colonel Gurcharan Singh, another war hero from 6th Cavalry. So this is, I have focused on my experiences in the Assam sector. So when somebody talks about Agartala, Khaura, Brahmanbaria, Silchar, Aizawl, Longley, Lumding, Guwahati, Shillong. These are all the places that I have personally been during those 4 years. And I've traveled the distance from Silchar to and anywhere in India, Punjab, Pune, a number of times, the 4 days journey by train. So thank you so much. Happy Vijay Diwas to all of you. And I wish you all happy holidays and good morning to Indian friends in India, and good night to the American Indians here, NRIs, and all those who are here. Jai Hind.
Thank you,
God
Colonel.
bless India.
Thank you, Colonel Randhawa. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Now, next, I'm going to invite Major General Ajay Chaturvedi ji. But before that, I would request Colonel Sharma to introduce his brother very briefly. And if he wants to speak, we'll give him a chance later on. But so, Colonel Sharma ji, if your brother is still there, would you introduce him just very briefly? Rakesh Sharma, let me hold on just a moment. Let me unmute you. We are running over time, so just we had to really 1 second. Rajiv ji, can you unmute him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaurav, he was online. He is a Bombay sapper. He was during the operation. His regiment 104, they moved over Sylhet. They moved to Sylhet from that side. And they were the first one to launch floating bridges there. They celebrated Sylhet Day the other day, but he was waiting. Unfortunately, he is not on the line anymore.
Oh, he left it? Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so now I'm going to request Major General Ajay Chaturvedi. Is he here?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Go ahead.
A very, very good morning to all Indian friends, and a good evening to people in North America, and good afternoon, as General Bhattacharya said, to people in Australia. Before I proceed further, let me make a disclaimer. I am not a veteran of 1971. I joined a little later, and what I have known, these 1971 war is unprecedented in the world history. But before I start, I pay my tributes to all the martyrs who shed their lives for the cause of nation during 71 war, and a very, very huge respect to all the veterans who are still alive and with us and guiding us, like General Bhattacharya, General Sharma, and Brigadier Sharma, and many others. I will just say that 71 war is something which makes every Indian, should make very, very Indian very, very proud, because what we did is unprecedented. There's nowhere in the known human history a country has been able to liberate another part of the country and dismember that country. Nobody, not even Stalingrad, had only 91,000 prisoners, and we got 93,000 prisoners, and we did not butcher the way Russians butchered Germans, and they went home. It's a greatness of Indian civilization and India. The war could be won only because of the few things which I will share, and these are the lessons for the future. First and foremost is, as Colonel Sharma, Brigadier Sharma very rightly said, clear political aim. And Mrs. Gandhi provided what a leadership. She realized, and I just quote 2-3 examples. She anticipated that there would be some kind of a problem from America. So in August, she had peace and tranquility treaty with Russia. She stopped supply to Eastern Pakistan, then Eastern Pakistan, by stopping the overhead flights and also ensured that Sri Lanka does not provide the refueling facility. So this kind of a political leadership and the kind of flexibility he gave to Sam Manekshaw, in any other case, probably Sam Manekshaw would have been court-martialed, but then, or would have been asked to resign, but then it didn't happen. She gave time. Now, the second element in this is very important is the Mukti Bahini. Though our own Indian Armed Forces from the month of June, and incidentally, General Bhattacharya was instrumental in training a part of those Mukti Bahini forces when he was in Mizoram. And our previous chief, General B.K. Singh, he was very, very importantly involved with the training of Mukti Bahini. And so was another name, which is not so well taken now, Brigadier Shabek Singh, General Shabek Singh, who obviously everyone knows about his subsequent work post his retirement. Now, as far as armed forces are concerned, one of the main important reasons was a application of comprehensive national power. And when I say comprehensive national power, armed forces, logistic support systems, intelligence in the form of raw and other elements, then paramilitary forces, and everyone. You look at the greatness of that political leadership, that even the leader in opposition is calling her Durga. So that means the entire nation was together. So that was one of the most important lessons which emerged. Mukti Bahini, besides decimating Pakistan forces, was a very, very great source of intelligence. Now, next was armed forces. Professionalism, audacity, and above all, innovativeness. These are the three things which made the day in favor of India. Professionalism, as someone mentioned, that even post-war, the repair of Dhaka airfield was done by Indians. Not even one case of human rights violations was done by Indian armed forces. So that's a kind of professionalism which was displayed. Now, second part of this professionalism is the winning the war and the kind of a strategy. The audacity with which Karachi raid was done, audacity with which the governor's house was strafed, and in first 4 hours only, by 6th December, there was no air support left. Tejgaon was pitted so badly that when they tried to repair it, they could not do it. So was the Chittagong and so was the Dhaka airfield. This raid at Karachi helped not only to stop Pakistan Navy, but also ensured that international maritime support stopped, and which subsequently helped us to starve Pakistan of the supplies. The innovativeness which sappers displayed. Incidentally, this Madhumati Bridge, which Bengal sappers 58 and 63 Engineer Regiment had made, it was 1400 feet long, and it was longest post Second World War. Then it was the shortage of equipment that was so well taken care by using every part of the equipment which was available. And with all this thing, the audacity with which it was done, the Battle of Khansama, I would just narrate one incident. That Battle of Khansama, when the bunkers were not going, the PT-76 tanks, which are meant to destroy them, they were used for this kind of operation. And the personal bravery. I remember in this, there were cases where in the HMG bunker, an infantry soldier jumped. Albert Ekka's name was taken, and so was 21 Rajputs, some of the operations which were there. So what I'm trying to say, the PSYOPs, which was again added to it. So this is something what Obama long back later said, and actually we did it before that. Yes, we can. India can do it. Second part, which is very, very important, is that what we achieved post, we managed to remove a major threat from East. we stood up to American pressure that they could not, the Seventh Fleet, they tried to force their way, but they didn't come this side of the Malacca because they knew that in case if they try, the Russians will come and support. China made some empty threats, but they did not. So therefore, what I would like to state in the end, that if you make up your mind, if you say nischay kar apni, then only jeet karo, then only you will win. And what Kennedy said long back, that most people see things the way they are, but I see things the way they should be, and ask why not. And we did it, and we will again do it. My heartiest felicitations to each one of you on the occasion of Vijay Diwas. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Major General Chaturvedi. And next would be Brigadier Y.R. Mendiratta. Are you here?
Yes, he's here.
Thank
I can
you.
see him, yes.
Please, please.
Oh, he's mute. Brigadier Mandiratta is mute.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Just let me see if I can.
Yeah,
Rajiv,
just
can you unmute him?
Unmute.
Yes, I'm trying, but
Thank
he will
you.
have to unmute himself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brigadier Mandiratta, ye abhi chale gaye utke. He was sitting here.
Oh, okay. In that case, if we missed anyone has to say any few things very briefly, please, you're all most welcome. We are already over time, but if anybody has to make any comments, please.
I see there is one Major Sushil. Major
He's
Sushil, are
left.
you here?
He left.
Oh, he left.
He left.
Okay. If nobody else, I would request our.
Can we see? Can we unmute Brigadier Mandiratta? I'm just trying to call him.
Is he back? Is he back?
I'm just trying to call him.
Rajiv, can you unmute him?
Yes, already did.
I'm just calling
He
Brigadier.
will have to unmute himself.
Yeah, I'm just calling.
I want to show my photo.
I'm just calling him.
Okay.
I'm just calling.
While that call is ongoing,
Sir, we are waiting for you. You are unmuted. You are muted. You are muted. We are waiting for your call.
In
For
Kroger,
your number.
they have peanut butter fudge.
Sir, just unmute,
Okay,
unmute
he's
yourself.
here now. Okay, unmute him.
Unmute yourself, sir. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
good. Thank you, sir.
Brigadier Mandiratta, please.
Thank you.
Share your experience, please.
श्री गौर जी,
जी
कर्नल अग्रवाल जी और आपकी टीम, आप सबको बहुत बहुत मुबारक, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने इतना अच्छा ये इवेंट को ऑर्गेनाइज किया और एक से एक बढ़कर लोगों को यहाँ आपने एकत्रित किया। सबसे पहले विजय दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं सबको। बहुत अच्छी बातें सुनने को मिली। मैं सिर्फ एक दो चीजें शेयर करना चाहूंगा कि पहला कि यादें तो बहुत हैं, समय गुजर गया है, पर यादों को याद रखना भी बहुत आवश्यक है, क्योंकि इस तरह के दिवस में इस तरह समय में जो यादें हैं उन्हीं पर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं। इसको एक तरफ रखते हुए I would like to share that things have gone by and time does not stand still. Two things about Bangladesh. Just 2 years back, I was there in Melbourne, and that time that Bangladesh Day was being celebrated by the Bangladeshi people there in Melbourne, and I was present there. Not a soul mentioned about the part played by India or the Indian Army or Indian Armed Forces. They did not. Now, what does it show? It shows that they have their own pride and they feel that they were the ones who fought it out and they brought independence to the country. And we have to respect it. Whether you like it or not, you have to respect it. On the other side, on that day, Bangladesh army people call a couple of armed forces people of India and make much of them and give them all the honor. So see, it's not a paradox. One may think that's a paradox, but it isn't paradox. This is, the time has gone by. And while army is respecting tradition, the countrymen of Burma or Bangladesh are moving on ahead. So we have to understand that. When we are today, we're talking in terms of diplomatic world or on a social world. One. Number two, after the operation, whole lot of Meerut happens to be my hometown. And that time, when you interacted with some of these people, there, Pakistani Jawan said, कि साहब आपके जैसे अफसर हमारे पास होते तो ये कहानी ही दूसरी होती. So it is the leadership and the dedication which speaks a lot from there. And talking of that, in Meerut I saw myself, you see, the international community must understand that these people who were prisoners there, the ladies were also there, and they went with more population because they had the kids there. They were born there in the prisoner of war camp. So we captured X number and we returned X plus delta X to them. They will not admit, but that's what the story is. I would not go any further because time is short. I'm grateful for being given this opportunity and thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, thank you. And before I request our chairman Rajiv Verma-ji, I have one humble request from all of you, an appeal also, that you have spent your life defending India from outside enemy. You know what we are going through right now in our country. We have enemies inside the country and outside the country. My humble appeal to you all, I know you think that you're retired and you're done your job. I think country needs you more than ever. Please be more active in the community. Please take more active part in the community because we need you all. Because you have experience, you know exactly. So please, my humble request for all of you to get more involved in the community so we can beat the enemy inside our country. You know what's going on. You all understand everything. So please do that. I hope to see you more. And now I'm going to request Rajiv Verma-ji, our board of chairmen, to thank you all. Rajiv-ji.
Yeah, thank you, Acharya-ji. I would like to call Colonel Agrawal-ji with a special request.
Thank you, Rajiv-ji. Thank you very much. I'm so happy today and I'm so glad. When we planned this event, we thought filling 1 hour would be a difficult task, but now here I see it is almost 2 hours. Thank you very much. And we are so happy. And I wish to thank all the participants in India and USA for taking part, and especially special thanks to Lieutenant General Bhattacharya, my CEO, and I have served 5.5 years under him in different appointments. And also my thanks to Brigadier Satish Sharma, Brigadier Y.R. Mendiratta, and Major General Ajay Chaturvedi. Thank you so much for making it a great success. Thank you, Rajiv ji. You can continue.
Yeah, so with great pleasure, I thank everybody for their service to Mother India. All the lives that were martyred, all the blood that was shed, they are invaluable to all of us. I just want to leave this thing and well, thanks to all the participants today who shared their experiences. Thanks to all the organizers, especially Acharya. Really appreciate you organizing this, and all the others who contributed. But let me leave with a thought here. Number one, the soldiers do not retire ever. Number two, soldiers do not retire from soldiering. Number three, there is, I'm really glad, I was really pleased to hear Kuldeep Bararji and his, memories of Netaji. So
Thank
every
you.
military operation always has a political objective, always. Netaji has left us with a mission that still is unfinished, and that is the mission of Hindustan. We got what is known as Republic of India, but it was cut off due to various factors. We don't want to get into that. That Hindustan that Netaji envisioned is still a work in progress, and that united Hindustan is not going to come with negotiations or politicking, or the tree of liberty has to be nurtured with the blood of the traitors and the patriots, both. As we celebrate the surrender in Dhaka, we need to look forward to another surrender, and that is in Rawalpindi. And I make no bones about that. That's the only way to secure the new Hindustan as it was envisioned by Netaji, Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, and Ashfaqullah Khan. And also keep in mind that what the miracle that happened at Dhaka, that needs to be repeated on the western side, and it needs to be done the same way. But you need not wait for Government of India or anybody else to make that happen. You have the technology, you have the methodology, you have the physical fitness, you have 10 years, 15 years after your retirement. I leave you with all this hint that mission is not over yet. And let us look forward to another Vijay Diwas in the future. With that, Jai Hind, thanks all, and we look forward to seeing you more often.
Can I take a second, Verma?
Have a nice day in India and a nice night in America. Thank you very much for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hindi.
I can see Yogi Mehdi.
Jai Hind, sir.
Thanks a lot to the organizers.
Yeah, anybody wants to chit chat together is open to do it. If you want to personally chit
No,
chat with anybody.
We wish you all happiness in life and continue doing the good work.
Yes,
thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
We are
Yogi
open.
Mehdi Ratta was here. Can I talk to
you can talk.
Yogi Mehdi Ratta for a second? Where is Yogi gone?
Yeah, I'm very much here.
Hi, Yogi. How are you?
Very much I'm here.
We were colleagues together.
Wonderful.
Doing the brass tacks and checkerboard.
Wonderful that you organize it like so beautifully.
Yeah, Yogi, nice to see you again this time.
Pleasure.
After 86, 87.
Oh, wow. After a long time you met her, you got to see each other, right?
No, once I met him in Chandimadar. He was the Deputy Chief Engineer, Western Command, I remember.
Okay, great.
Yogi, where are you now?
Where are the graceful ladies?
Thank you.
Mrs. Bhattacharya, Mrs. Mehdi Ratta, and Mrs.
Sure, every one of them.
Can they come? Can they come on the screen, Mrs. Bhattacharya?
They can say whatever they want. Sure.
Yeah, we can at least see them after such a long time.
You know, there's a lady behind every.
My wife Archana is there.
You know that.
Archana, say hi. Archana. Archana is mute. Can you mute Archana?
Archana, can you unmute?
Archana, unmute yourself.
Let me try to do that.
She's not listening. Archana.
Archana, unmute.
Hello, Mrs. Bhattacharya. Hello. Unmute.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
अनम्यूट कर रही हूँ मैं, अनम्यूट कर दिया मैंने.
चलो ठीक है.
हेलो नमस्ते।
Mrs. Sharma, how are you?
अरे मैंने अनम्यूट कर रखा है अपने आप को।
Brigadier Satish Sharma, unmute yourself.
I don't know.
Now you're okay.
Hi Meeta, how are you?
गौर जी,
मैं तो
सबको unmute कर दीजिए।
किसको अनम्यूट करना है?
राजीव जी, सबको।
Which friend? Can I know the name, please?
I cannot see them.
Sir, unmute.
Yeah, I am unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Mrs. Archana Sharma, how are you?
Okay.
Hi.
Nice, very nice meeting.
Hi Archana, how are you?
Why is she feeling down?
Right. So keep
This
in
is
touch. God
awesome.
bless.
Awesome.
She's ugly.
Thank you very much. Oh, Meeta.
हेलो।
Archana, have you met everybody?
नहीं अभी कहाँ मिली मैं तो अपना सेटअप ही हो रहा है।
Mrs. Bhattacharya
her for the Santas. You tell her after the COVID you come to our house.
Monu.
Yes.
अब सब घर के लोग।
अरे हम भी घर के ही हैं।
अब तो I can have my wine glass.
Please start your wine now.
23 लोग हैं। Yeah, I'm here.
Great job.
सब एक फैमिली हो गए हैं।
Yeah, we are all family now. My brother JP भाई साहब. He's my brother JP Agarwal.
I tell you like many times.
चलिए।
ये सुनील, you said Bhattacharya from